Despite how disappointed I might be in myself, I can say that I've really come a long way from, you know, that immature person I used to be. I used to be, you know, immature and disrespectful and barbaric. I can also say that, you know, despite the gray hairs that I've given my parents, that coming into this new year, that I really, despite how much of a selfish jerk that I've been, I really do respect them, and I've really come very far from that disrespectful, barbaric, selfish, immature monster that I was. And when I think about how disrespectful I was, how every time somebody said no or stop or close your mouth, I would take it personally. I really would take that personal. But in my mind, I was forgetting that these were simple commands. I had given up on myself. I was a hard headed monster, never listened to my mama and my daddy. I was hitting a lot of walls. And I had stopped growing because I gave up on myself. I even let the most valuable friendship crumble. I let the most valuable friendship crumble. I mean, I knew we were gonna fall out when I was 10 years old. They were 11 years old, but their mind was more mature than my mind was. My mind was, you know, still in kid zone. I didn't realize I had the control, and I forgot how to control myself. So I, because of the internet, I let my lack of self control allow me to piss off the most valuable friendship in my life. I'd never listened. And when I think about, you know, how I conducted myself at school, at Kane University, at Lincoln Tech, well, nothing really happened at Lincoln Tech. I was just doing other, I was doing other things, like New York University online. Nobody knew about that at Lincoln Tech. Not even my mama and my daddy know that I'm almost done with that thing. So, but everywhere else, you know, I was so disrespectful, even at church. And that's how a lot of my friendships, well, connections, because they're not really friendships, but they could have became friendships, and I still could have been connected to them. But I was very selfish, and that's not the real me. I'm morphing back into the real me now that I have confidence, I have compassion, I got the discipline back, I got the maturity back. You know, I really have been giving my mama and my daddy gray hair. I know that God's still gonna bless me now that I'm more mature now, and that He's gonna bless me in a different way. I'll still get the things that I want, like going to a party, you know. I'll be able to do all that stuff. Now I do understand. Every time I was told no, I took that as an offense. I didn't understand really until I went back into my mind and saw how I behaved at home. Especially on the most embarrassing day of my life. In fact, the most embarrassing weekend of my life, because, you know, now I see how rude and disrespectful I was in class, at school. Where I should have said nothing. And every time I was told not to do something, I always did it. I never listened. Especially when I was told you don't have to comment on everything. I was selfish at the time. I really didn't care. In fact, I was about to give up on life, really. And every birthday party on the weekend, I was never invited to. And I was always at home watching The Price is Right on these nights where everyone else was invited to these birthday parties and I was sitting at home. I was just at home binge watching The Price is Right on YouTube. I never understood why I was not invited to these birthday parties or weddings or any of these gatherings. I never realized it was because of my attitude. And I forget that disrespect is not professional and it definitely is not cute. And going into 2022, I know that I know better than that. I was raised better than that. I know how to honor my mama. I know how to honor my daddy. I should just do that. And now I understand that they're telling me right. And God would not have given me to them. You know, God would not have placed them in my life if they didn't love me. I'm not just saying that because I'm embarrassed that the reason I'll never go to these events is because I'm always doing stuff I've been told not to do. I had given up on my faith. I didn't want to be here. I knew of what was going to happen, and I wasn't thinking clearly. I chose to do stuff that was not approved. Instead of thinking, how can I avoid that? And some of it, it's better that it did happen. Because now I'm about to go places that I've never been before. But February 21st, 2020 was the most embarrassing weekend of my life. And it really does embarrass me that I was an interruption to people's growth and It really, it really embarrasses me when I think of everything I've done prior to last year, you know, how much trouble I've made. And this is not even a skit like, oh, shiitake mushrooms. It's me not acting my age and not having a mature mindset and missing out on the opportunities that are placed in front of me because I was too hard-headed to stop. You know, I did everything Dr. Lewis told me not to do, and that's why I didn't make the worship team. And the funny thing is, you know, the day I was let go is the day that Brother Jose Rivera left the church. And when I came in that Sunday to sit in my seat next to my mama and my daddy, I saw that there were no bongos. I was like, what's going on here? Huh? What happened? Why? And I asked what was going on. I asked either Brother Jim or Brother Gerald, one of them, because I know that they were like that. And one of them told me that Brother Jose is no longer here. And I didn't even see his wife. You know? I never asked Brother Jose why he left Impact Church. And it's none of my damn business. But if I knew that Brother Jose was leaving around the time I was actually going to be a part of the choir, I would have backed out of it. I would have been like, nah, because he was the only guy I talked to, really. Clarence, I'd like to use the bathroom. I kept, doing the same thing. It was consistently disrespecting other people's wishes. And that's what stopped me from growing. I was hard-headed. So, it was the consistent thing of disrespecting other people's wishes. And I always took it personal. Every time someone said, don't do this, I took it personal. I took it as an offense. I was that much of a kid. I wasn't professional, and I gave my parents and my teachers gray hair. And I've let the selfish desires and immaturity, I've let them go. And I'm praying that God will give me the things that I want. Because I wanted that before, I, stopped believing. I'll talk to y'all later.